What's up, you guys? It's James from James's Reptiles. In today's video, I'm going to talk about my 5 personal dream animals or favorite animals or animals that I wish I could currently own. It's mainly going to have to do with animals that either need a lot of room, are hard to get, or the setup would just be pretty expensive. I can guarantee you that at some point in the near future, I will own all of these animals. And if that's something you want to see, if you hear an animal that you like and you want to see it, make sure to follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, jamesreptiles at gmail.com. If you have any questions, you'll be able to see it when I post it. So starting out at number 5, and it's in no particular order. I'm going to start out actually with this one is like the most number 1 animal that I want, and that's a blue tree monitor. Blue tree monitors are one of the first animals that I saw, and I was like, wow, that's something I have to have. And I'm gonna figure out how to find a video of it online, and I'll post it up and you'll see it in front of my face, and I'll figure out how to do that for you. But they're naturally blue and they're just stunning monitors. The problem with them is that you need a big enclosure, and me personally, I would want to breed it, so I'd have to buy a pair of them. A pair of them is like $3,400, and the enclosure needs to be huge. It needs to be some 6x6 by 4 foot enclosure with lots of heating and climbing elements. It's not something I'm willing to do in the apartment right now, but nevertheless, they're still gorgeous animals, and they're definitely something I will be owning in the future. Stay tuned for that. Next up are Man Acamas, and obviously you'll notice when I show you pictures, they're red and blue. They look just like Spider-Man almost. They're almost like a bearded dragon, but they look like Spider-Man. These are from Africa, from the plains of Africa, I believe, and they're just really hard to get in captivity. No one really breeds them. I'm sure they're difficult, and that's why, with the colors and how beautiful they are. They don't actually sell for that much. You never find them imported, and no one breeds them, so they're very difficult to get a hold of. But another thing I'd definitely love to breed, I'd love to breed out the red and just focus on the blue. I think that would be amazing. Or the red, you could have 2 lines, because the red is just such a stunning red. It's a red you don't see in reptiles very often, and it's like Ferrari red. Another gorgeous animal. I will own them in the future. I'll put money on that. Another animal, and this is an animal I do own. It's not going to be counted toward the list. The Vietnamese blue beauty snake. That's an animal I've wanted for a very long time. Actually, that's a lie. It's an animal I've wanted for like a year. But they're gorgeous. They get really big. They're large colubrids. They're very active, and they get this gray blue, and it's just stunning. When they puff up and they hiss, just incredible animals. And the way that they're what's the word I'm thinking of? They're very aggressive, and they're always on edge. It's not that I like that they're aggressive. It's the challenge of it, and it's such a large snake, and it's such a step up from king snakes and corn snakes and other colubrids. Just those Asian rat snakes. Most of them are very beautiful, and I happen to like a lot of them. But moving on, we'll go to another blue animal, because you guys know I really like my blue animals. I'd like to have a whole blue animal room eventually. I think that'd be really awesome. Are blue phase White's tree frogs. Now, these aren't particularly hard to come by or expensive to keep. It's just something that I haven't personally done, because breeding them I feel like would be a pain, because I'm not very good with amphibians, and for how much they sell, it's not really worth it. But at some point I do want to have a little group of them. I'd like to have them, on top of one of these racks in a tank just like this, one of the taller ones, or maybe one of the paludarium style tanks, and they can have a little pond at the bottom with some fish. I think that'd be really interesting. I'd also like to get one of those golden phase ones with, I think they got the blue eyes or the white eyes or something like that. They call them honeys. Those frogs are extremely stunning, and they're incredibly cute, and in fact it actually takes them a couple of years to get to adult size, which I think is really interesting. I've never been good with frogs. If it's something I have to spray down, I always end up forgetting about it. But nevertheless, Next on the list is another large Asian colubrid. It's another rat snake. It's the 100-flower rat snake. It's not a blue animal, but they get this nice green with this bright orange-red head. And I love the pattern. I love the name. I love large Asian rat snakes. I think they're incredible colubrids. And I'd love to own a little pair or a little trio or something like that. And that's definitely something I could do in the future. If that's something you guys would like to see, make sure to like the video, and I'll definitely consider adding that sooner rather than later. Alright, and for this last animal, it's not necessarily expensive. Well, they are a little pricey, and the setup can be a little pricey, and that together, you can end up spending $1,000 on the whole setup with the animal. But of course, me, I'd have to get two, so it'd be like $1,500. But these are 0 bearded dragons, and these are the ones that get all white. They're extremely incredible looking, and it's just, you don't see lizards like that. There are tons of snakes that are all white for all different genetic reasons or bred reasons. Leopard geckos that get close, but a bearded dragon all white, it's just an incredible animal to look at. It's large, it's impressive, and to have a breeding pair would be absolutely amazing. I've had a bearded dragon in the past, and quite frankly, I didn't really enjoy it. Adult bearded dragons, they eat a lot of vegetation. That means I have to shop for them a lot. I have to keep the fridge stocked with a lot of vegetation, and I have to feed it salad like every other day, and that's not something I really enjoyed doing. It's not for me, and it'll happen eventually. As I grow and I become more of a breeder than a full-time employee at my job, I have more time. I'll be able to go to the store whenever, pick stuff up. But right now, it doesn't make sense to go to the store and buy produce all the time when I don't have too much free time anyway to work with my animals. Why get something that's a lot of work? To end off, there are a couple animals that I do want and I will end up having, but I don't feel like I need them in my life like I do with some of these other gorgeous animals. And the first one on that list is the Xanthic crested gecko, and that's primarily to breed and sell and to work into a lily white Xanthic project. I know this year everyone's got het Xanthic lily whites, and they're breeding them, and they're gonna get visuals this next year, and a lot of people are gonna hold those back, and some people are gonna sell them for a couple grand, and that's awesome. And I know I'm gonna be late to that train because Xanthics are going for like $5,000, hets are going for like $1,000, pos hets are like $500. Pardon me. It's something I will get eventually. It's just not going to happen anytime soon. And one more animal that I definitely do want, and it does have some blue on it. It's not even a reptile, but it does have scales. And by I mean one animal, I mean a school. I really want a school of neon tetras. I think that'd be really cool in a big, large tank. Really, a school of any fish would be amazing. In one of those big, like a 300-gallon tank that's like 400 neon tetras or something like that. I think it would just be incredible. You could do a species-only tank, and it just you see examples of these all over because they're so gorgeous, with some green plants all over and some driftwood that just looks really good. It kind of mimics that which you would see in nature. And as a fish tank keeper, it's a dream to have a bunch of big fish tanks and put all sorts of cool animals in them. But nevertheless, I'm James from James Reptiles. I really hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe. It really helps out the channel. And check out my social media. All that really helps. I'm getting close to 300 followers on Instagram. A goal would be to hit that by the end of the year, so let's make that happen. I really hope you guys enjoyed and have a good weekend.